So let's get into our recommendations under 50,000.
Yep. So for me, the under 50,000 category is pretty interesting because this is where you start going a little premium, and for the amount you're spending, the watch should look fancy on your wrist.
Yeah.
So for me, it has been as a brand Tissot. I've owned like maybe 3-4 watches, which are Tissot over the last few years, and in that category, for me, Tissot T Classic. So that's a classic one that they have going on for like many years. It's a chronograph. So that in black is something that again is something which you need to own because multiple reasons, goes well with most of your outfits, gets you compliments. It's a really beautiful looking dial. Maybe you can look it up.
So I have Tissot on my list as well. I have 2 Tissots. One is the PRX. So this model is called Tissot PRX. There are a couple of variations available. The quartz one is 30,000 rupees. It looks great. It's very inspired by we were talking about quartz earlier, but it's very Rolex Oyster Quartz inspired. But great looking integrated stainless steel watch, 30,000 rupees. Amazing value for money. And then they have the Powermatic 80, which is for 53,000 rupees in India. And I'm sure you'll get some discounts or whatever. It's an automatic watch with a 80-hour power reserve.
Yeah.
And it's got the Powermatic 80 in the blue, looks like it's got a waffle dial, like the Royal Oak inspired waffle dial. To me, right now, there is no better value for money watch in the country than the PRX automatic.
Correct. I agree. Tissot always does that with that category. One more watch that I really like in that category is the Seiko Prospect Solar Diver. So again, very Rolex inspired. Different colored bezels, sturdy, looks solid on your wrist, and I think it's complete value for money in that category.
Seiko is again another no-brainer brand. Like I would any day recommend Seiko.
Yeah.
For anyone who's getting into watches, just so much history. It's got all the horological relevance you can want, heritage you can want.
Yeah.
For me, in this price point under 50 grand, there are 2 Seikos. 3 actually. One is the Seiko 5 Sports that's replaced the SKX.
Oh yeah, that's a lovely one.
Lovely one. Classic diver watch. You get from 20 to 25,000 rupees depending on what discount you might get on Amazon or something else. They've recently launched the GMT version of that, which is for 40,000. Looks great. 2 colorways, blueberry and grape. Blueberry is black, black in blue, and grape is like grayish. Looks really nice. And then they have a very dress watch sort of a range in the Seiko 5 as well. Terrible model number. I have the model number with me, which is SRPE 55K1. That's for 25,000 rupees. And that watch on the wrist looks like a lot more expensive than what it is.
Yeah. I think Seiko is something which is a great investment for anyone who wants to start collecting watches. What we're discussing right now. There's one brand that, again has that cult status, Japanese heritage, and will last.
And I want to reiterate this. All the watches we've spoken about today, right? These are all watches that if you buy today, you're not going to look at them 10 years down the line and say, what the hell did I do?
Exactly.
None of them are that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just because they're a lot more affordable doesn't mean they will not be cool 10 years down the line.
And I think which is why we are talking about these watches, because both you and I must have bought some other watches over the last few years. But
you want to get into that?
No, exactly.
Watch mistakes.
So there are mistakes that we have made in the past, but we're not talking about that, right? So these are the watches that, like you said, have that brand value associated with them. So even 10 years down the line, they'll still be as precious as they are now.